Hey, do you remember this scene from Lord of the Rings?
Oh! It's a bog! He's led us into a swamp!
And then this one?
I found it. I did. The way through the marshes.
Notice how he said in there that it is a bog, a swamp, and a marsh. It actually cannot be all three of these things because all of those actually have specific definitions. And when we talk about wetlands, there are actually four types. We have bogs, swamps, fens, and marshes. Now, with all their definitions, it can get really complicated, such as things with like soil pH and things like that. So here are the definition. Marshes are continually full. They can actually be brackish and they're going to be found along like coastlines and things, very important ecosystems. They're also shrubless and typically don't have a very large standing vegetation. Swamps are going to have trees and they're going to have a lot of them. They're also going to be normally filled with water. Most of their water is going to come from things like runoff from rivers, and they're going to be found along where water is going to normally flow. Now, bogs, on the other hand, they're going to be typically full. They're going to get most of their water from rain and precipitation, things like that, and they're going to be mostly made from peat moss. And now, fens, on the other hand, they're basically just the same thing as bogs, except they're going to be fed by groundwater mostly instead of rain. And again, there's going to be numerous other factors that are going to go into determining what type of classification that a wetland is going to be, including the type of vegetation in there, how much of that vegetation is there, what animals can live there, etc., etc. Now, in the movie, they didn't actually film the Dead Marshes in an actual location. They wanted to, but it was just simply too dangerous, which after being in wetlands for a while, yes, it is very dangerous to just go waltzing in there. And from all the aerial shots that they got, you can see that there's not a whole lot of trees, and there is pretty much mostly just moss down there at the bottom, and it seems to be pretty continual for the most part. And so this is actually known as what is called a string bog because it is a string of other types of bogs that are along this same pathway. They originally wanted to film it in a place called Kepler Mire, which is actually named after the astronomer Johannes Kepler. So the next time you watch this scene, just remember, it cannot be all of those different types of things if it is a wetland. It gets very complicated, however, it's a bog. So, Sam was right the first time.